All right, let's talk about how to become a real estate appraiser in Ohio. If you've ever wondered what the actual path looks like, you're in the right place. We're going to demystify the whole process, breaking it down for you step by step. So, you're thinking about a career where you get to figure out what a property is really worth? Awesome. It's a fascinating field. Think of this as your personal guide to making that happen. Let's jump right in. Okay, here's our game plan. We'll start with a big picture roadmap, then we'll dive into becoming a trainee, getting that all-important experience, leveling up your education, tackling the final exam, and finally, what you need to do to stay licensed and keep growing. First up, let's get a bird's eye view of the whole journey. You know, the process in Ohio is really a two-stage deal. You start out as a trainee, kind of like an apprentice, and then you work your way up to being a fully licensed professional. And here are the 4 major milestones on that road. It all begins with registering as a trainee. Then comes the hands-on part, supervised experience. After that, you'll need a bit more education. And finally, you've got the big test, the final license exam. So let's break down that very first step, getting started as a trainee. All right, so your first official move is to become what's called a state-registered appraisal assistant. For anyone new to this world, this is it. This is your formal entry point into the whole profession. And the very first number you need to burn into your brain is 82. Yep, 82 hours. That's the amount of qualifying education you have to complete just to get your foot in the door as a trainee. Now, those 82 hours aren't just one long, boring course. It's actually a mix of classes designed to build your foundation. You've got basic appraisal principles and procedures, the super important 15-hour national USPAP course, and then a course specific to Ohio that covers the whole supervisor-trainee relationship. Okay, heads up. This is a really important update you need to know about. Right now, the standard education rules apply, but starting January 1st, 2026, things change. A brand new 8-hour course on valuation bias and fair housing becomes mandatory. This is a big deal and shows how the industry is focusing more and more on fairness. Once you've got that coursework knocked out, things get a little more administrative. You'll submit your trainee application, get your BCI and FBI background checks done, and then, this is key, you have to find a certified supervisor. Once you've found one, you register them with the state. This leads you right into the next major phase, actually doing the work. And that brings us to what is, honestly, probably the most critical part of this whole journey, the apprenticeship phase. This is where you take all that classroom knowledge and start applying it in the real world. So, what's the next big number to remember? 1,000. That's right. To qualify for your licensed residential appraiser credential, you need to log 1,000 hours of supervised experience. And trust me, this isn't something you can just breeze through. It's all about getting quality, in-depth experience. And, as you can imagine, these hours come with some pretty strict rules. They have to be done over at least 6 months and always under a certified supervisor. The kind of work you do has to meet national standards. Those are set by the Appraiser Qualifications Board, or AQB for short. And you absolutely have to keep detailed logs of everything because, you guessed it, the state is going to be checking them. Okay, so while you're out there logging all those hours in getting that hands-on experience, you also have to tackle the next level of education. Think of this as leveling up your knowledge to get you ready for the big leagues, full licensure. The magic number for the licensed residential appraiser credential is 150 hours. Now, before you panic, remember those 82 hours you already took to become a trainee? The good news is they count toward this total, so you're already more than halfway there. This table here lays it out perfectly. You can see how you're just building on that trainee foundation you already laid. To get from 82 to 150 hours, you're going to add some more advanced courses. We're talking market analysis, the cost approach, residential report writing. It's a really clear, logical progression of skills. And just one more really important note on education. Besides the appraisal-specific courses, Ohio also requires you to meet some college-level education minimums. Now, this could be some college credits, maybe a degree, or there are some other alternatives approved by the AQB. You'll definitely want to check the latest criteria for that. All right, deep breath. You've done the coursework. You've logged the hours. It's finally time to cross that finish line. This is the moment where all that hard work is about to pay off. The final process is actually pretty straightforward. First, you pull together your big application package. That's got your experience logs, your course certificates, all of it. Once the state gives you the thumbs up on that, you get the green light to schedule the big one, the national licensing exam. You pass that test, finalize your background checks and fees, and boom, that license is practically in your hands. And that's really the final piece of the puzzle. Passing that exam is what triggers everything. Once the division finalizes your file, they issue your official Ohio licensed residential real estate appraiser credential. You've made it. But wait, getting the license isn't actually the end of the road. Now you're a professional, and with that comes some ongoing responsibilities to maintain your credential and make sure your skills stay sharp. So to keep your license active, you'll need to renew it on a regular schedule and complete what's called continuing education, or CE. Historically, in Ohio, that's meant 14 hours every year. A key part of that is the 7-hour USPAP update course you have to take every 2 years to stay on top of the national standards. And just like with the initial requirements, things are changing here too. Starting in the 2026-2027 renewal cycle, Ohio is switching over to a 2-year renewal term. They're also adding a new 7-hour valuation bias course to the CE requirements, so another important change to keep on your radar. It's so important to remember this. Earning that credential, it isn't the final destination. Not at all. It's really the key that unlocks the door to your entire professional career. You're just at the starting line. That license is the foundation for absolutely everything that comes next, whether you want to specialize in unique properties or even build your own business. So really, the only question left is, what will you appraise next?